President has this promise to repeal and replace Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. In fact, governors from across the country are in Washington, D.C. this morning to talk about just that. Now, one of our friends, Craig Gussin, who handles health insurance, was just in Washington, D.C. talking about this very thing. He's joining us now with more. Good morning.
Good morning, Lisa.
All right, so let's talk about what to do about health care. The president has said repeal and replace, but I think insurers, governors, local politicians are all and all of us who have to have it are very concerned about what that actually means.
One of the things I walked away from D.C. with that everybody's working together to try and figure out how to fix the health insurance issue. You talked about the governors today. Also, some of the insurance executives are actually in D.C. today meeting with President Trump to try and figure this out. I hear a lot of stories about, oh, they're going to get rid of this, they're going to get rid of that. People are going to have to go through underwriting to get health insurance. I didn't hear any of this in Washington, D.C.
What did you hear?
What I heard in Washington, D.C. is that everybody will be able to get health insurance. Kids can stay on their parents' plan to 26. No more lifetime maximums like they have now. So a lot of that's not going to change. The mandate was one that I keep hearing. The mandate that everybody in the country must have health insurance. I have heard as well that that's one of those things that the president is not a fan of. But that has a lot of consequences down the road if everybody's not on these insurance plans. Exactly. And without mandates, this plan can't work at all. So I think what you're seeing right now is a lot of feelers going out there saying, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? There was something I saw that was supposedly leaked today about some of the things they're looking at doing. I heard none of that.
Okay.
One of the things I heard a lot of, and you need to understand, the problem is, in San Diego, we have 6 health insurance companies to fall back on for getting health insurance. Across the country, 30% of the counties across the country have one health insurance plan to pick from. 70% have 2 or less. So California, and especially San Diego, we're in great shape.
Right.
And we are a state-run plan. So regardless of what the federal government does.
Yeah, ours is different.
Ours is different. However, we have to look and see what they're going to do. The nice thing I heard about is they're going to be offering a lot more things. What do
you mean? A lot more things? Like a lot more options?
Options.
Plan options.
The biggest 2 words I heard in Washington, D.C. was market stability. How can we keep the market stable? The answer was we got to offer more plans. In the old days, if you were 20 and I was 60, if I was paying $500 a month, the maximum you could pay would be $100. It was a 5-to-1 ratio. Today, it's 3-to-1. So all of a sudden, you go from paying $100 to $175 because I'm paying $500.
Right.
They want to go back to the 5-to-1 ratio, which would bring the lower rates for younger people, which would bring more younger people in the market.
Which ultimately might lower the rates for the older Americans as well.
Exactly. In California, only in San Diego County, 8.6% of the people in San Diego County have no health insurance. That's about half what it used to be. And when you look at that, how many of those people actually aren't buying health insurance regardless of what you do? Probably 90% of them. We've done a great job. I think what we need to do, I haven't seen it, but in my opinion, I think because California is so expensive to live, I think we need maybe to up that subsidy number for people living in California, or the income numbers, so that those people who are on the edge can afford it.
Can afford it. Okay, but as of right now, yes, repeal and replace is the mantra. Yes, repeal and replace is what they're focused on doing, but there is no solid plan. So as far as we know, for 2017, you have to have health insurance.
Right. And everything I heard in Washington, D.C. was in the next 60 to 90 days, there will be a plan that comes out on both sides of the aisle.
Okay.
It was a very positive, probably the most positive experience I had in the last 10 to 15 years going to Washington, D.C. The comment I heard was you have about 10 Republicans and 12 Democrats that are making all the noise that we hear on TV and the radio and on print. Outside of that, they're all working together. And I heard this from both sides of the aisle.
That is, helpful to hear,
It was the most positive experience I've had. So,
well, and of course, because we've been seeing these premiums go through the roof, so something does need to be done. Craig, good to see you. Thanks so much for your time.
Pleasure.
All right.